Excel worksheets have 65,000 rectangles called cells on each one of them. And as you'll notice in this particular workbook, which is the sample file that's available to you, there are actually 3 sheets. Now let's take a look at each one. Each one contains 65,000 cells, and that means that by clicking on the bottom where it says the name of the sheet, we can actually jump to that particular sheet. So this is sheet number 2, and if I click on 3, this is now sheet number 3. And each one of these contains 65,000 cells. Now you may want to use sheets for unique reasons, in other words, to contain specific kinds of information. So we could actually rename these if we wanted to so that they would be more sensible. And I'm going to click on sheet number 1. I'm going to right click on the name of the sheet, sheet number 1. There we go, and we'll get this nice little drop down. So we can insert a brand new sheet. Now there are several ways of doing this. I'm going to show you each one. I can click here and that will insert one. Okay, it wants to know what kind of sheet do I want to insert. There are quite a few different variations here. Or what I can do is simply click on the little plus symbol here, which will create a brand new sheet. So now we have sheet number 4. And you'll notice I have 1, 4, 2, 3. And there is another approach to it, and that's up here on the ribbon on the Home tab, which is a drop down. And it says here I can insert a brand new sheet as well. So sheet here, and if I click on that, it creates a sheet number 5. So the nice part of this was when we actually right click on the name of the sheet, we get to choose a different style or type. And this means it could be a variety of different possibilities for that sheet. Again, you get to choose which one you would like, and it could be from a template as well. Now, I have 5 sheets here at the bottom, and I'd like to name them. And I'm going to move them around a little bit too, so that we can see what happens when I do either. So the first one, I'm going to right click again, and I'm going to choose rename. And as soon as I do this, it will select that name so that whatever I type in will be the new name. And I'm simply going to call this demo. So this will be my demo text. And then of course, sheet number 5, I think I'll just name it 5. So I'll call it 5. And then for 4, I'll do the same thing. I'll click on that. And you notice when I select it, it shows me that this one is highlighted, and therefore that's the sheet I'm looking at. So I'm going to call this one 4. There's 4, and then of course I have 2 here, so I'm going to click on 2, and I'll rename this one to 2. And then of course I have 3, and I'll name this one 3. Now there's a little bit of method behind my madness here, so let's just put that in. And then I'm going to click away from it so it accepts that name. And you notice that they're a little bit out of sequence, and I'd like to have 2 beside demo and 5 at the very end. You can move these around with great ease. So when I actually come down here to the bottom and I put my mouse over what I'd like to move and I click on it, you'll notice you get this little tiny arrow, black arrow, and you also get your mouse when you're holding the left button down as a little sheet. And this is your actual sheet. So if I move this across, that little arrow moves across, and I'm putting it at the end, and as soon as I release the mouse button, it automatically drops it there. So I can move these around. Now the other nice thing is, maybe I want to move 2 of them at once. So I can come in here and click on the first one, and then holding down the control key, I can click on the second one, and I can now drag these 2 between demo and 4 and release them, and all of a sudden they're now in line. Demo, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So you can move these around, you can change them a little bit. So let's do one more thing while we're still here. I'm going to click on demo. I'll right click on it, and I can actually change the color of it as well. So we have a tab color, and for demo I think I'll choose an orange. There's my orange. You notice it's got a little bit of an orange gloss to it, and then if I click on 2 I'll see the orange more clearly because it's no longer selected. This is very nice because it's very similar to using a filing cabinet with a variety of colors to identify, rather than the name, what the purpose of the actual tab is. And I'll change this one to, let's say, green, and then I'll choose the next one and I'll change this color to, let's say, red, and then we'll go to the next one and I'll change this color to, oh, let's say blue. There you go. And the last one, I guess we can choose, let's see, what color looks nice. Let's take the purple. Fantastic. And as you click through these, you'll see that the color is now there and you can choose whichever one you want. Now, some of the other features that are here we'll be talking about much later. Hiding a tab, we can do this with ease. And also moving a tab to another document entirely, or copying it to another document entirely. So there are a variety of different things that we can actually do, including, should I want, and maybe I don't need 5 after all, so I can actually come in and I can delete this particular one, and now I only have 4. So hopefully this helps a little bit about tabs. Just remember, each tab contains a sheet that is 65,000 cells in size.